Good evening. Tonight on The Big Match, 3 enjoyable games for you with plenty of skill and goals, and the personalities too, as the Fulham manager Malcolm MacDonald seeks to take his side into the First Division without spending a penny on transfers. Fulham against Grimsby. And Dave Swindlehurst, the new signing for West Ham, makes his first appearance for Hammers at Norwich. A place in Europe is the target. And for Peter Shilton, it's the same target as he goes with Southampton back to his old club, Nottingham Forest.
Bob Paisley gets a great Wembley finale from his Liverpool team. They make it a record hat-trick of wins in the Milk Cup, and we join them on their team coach as they celebrate their latest triumph. There's trouble for Crystal Palace and Charlton as they slip towards the bottom of the Second Division, and John Neal blames the young England keeper Steve Francis as Chelsea lose once again.
And in fact, we start in the Second Division for Fulham against Grimsby Town. It's 15 years since Fulham were last in the First Division. Since then, of course, they've also had a spell in the Third. But now they're aiming for the top again, even though 1 or 2 results recently have not quite gone their way. Fulham's momentum has been declining lately. They've won only 1 of their last 5 games, but manager Malcolm MacDonald, quite rightly, has kept his nerve and fields an unchanged side. We've been playing well, he says. The substitute is the Arsenal player on loan to Fulham, Brian McDermott. Grimsby have Mike Saxby, a central defender on loan from Luton, back in their side after injury. He might have a bit of defending to do because Grimsby are none too impressive away from home in the league, where they've lost 11 of their last 12 games. The referee is Eric Reid of Bristol. So Grimsby in the sky blue strip, attacking the goal to our left, kick-off against a Fulham side that knows it needs something positive from today's game, with Leicester having crept to within 5 points of them, although Fulham still have a game in hand. Davis again, watched closely by the number 6 Kevin Moore, finds Lewington, and the cross comes in, and Batch heading it, or rather twisting it away, as the Fulham men went in hoping to get the header. Gale, and O'Driscoll in there too, and they're under a bit of pressure in these opening minutes, are Grimsby. Sean O'Driscoll again, sweeping it wide for Locke. A good cross coming in once more. Coney couldn't quite reach it. Wilson, and a foul on him by Cumming, and it'll be a free kick to Fulham. So a good bright start by the home team. So Wilson going into the box, and Roger Brown coming into it as well as Gale takes this kick. Wilson back for Gale again. Hit first time, but Coney couldn't get to it. Kevin Moore got to it first for Grimsby. Saxby getting it away, but not very far. And Grimsby so far have not even been inside the Fulham half. Lewington, Wilson, and Batch saving without a great deal of discomfort. Now forward. Waters. Locke. Roger Brown, the long ball forward, and the corner. The ball just coming off Kevin Moore. Well, you can be sure Roger Brown will come forward to this one. He's scored 4 times this season, and it does seem to me every time that we come here, he does something fairly spectacular from this sort of situation. So Houghton with that corner. It won't reach Roger Brown, but Tony Gale was just inches wide. And a lot of room he had, as you can see. Not very far off. Odell got in first. Ford is after it. He's got a bit of support from Wilkinson. And from Odell, with Waters outside him. Bonningham. Bonnerman doing well. Oh, my word, there's a good chance here. And Wilkinson was almost in there, but the whistle had gone. The charge on the goalkeeper was unfair by the young centre-forward. But Phil Bonnerman almost making an opening goal here for Grimsby. Did so well onto the left foot And the save there at the feet of Wilkinson by goalkeeper Payton. Hopkins. Block. Again towards Wilson. And it was a delicate touch by Saxby. And also they were angered in the way that Wilson went for the goalkeeper. Was played back quite delicately there by the centre half, and my word, he did go hard, and then they went for Wilson. And of course the danger of a defender always doing that is you might find a referee sometimes who gives a penalty against you for doing that, but there's no doubt about it, it was a challenge by Wilson that he shouldn't have made, and Saxby looks as though he's going to go into the book. I suppose the referee would say, I'll give a free kick to Grimsby because the challenge by Wilson came before the challenge by Saxby. Davis to Lewington. Challenges are going in a bit firmly now. So another free kick for Fulham. Tony Gale will take it. The big centre-half Brown has stayed back, but here's Hopkins. He's got O'Driscoll outside him. Well, there was a foul there. And you saw that well enough. The referee did also. By Bonneman and O'Driscoll. And it'll be a free kick, which once again Tony Gale will take. And this time Roger Brown has come up. Crossed in towards him, but Saxby got a touch that really mattered for Grimsby. Made wide by O'Driscoll. Gale being chased out there by Waters. And a throw given to Fulham. Houghton. Hopkins. Hit him lower this time towards Coney. Can Davis get there? My word, he did. And it smacked Mike Saxby in the face. But Davis whipped around on that one. Just watch this. It's a real strike, and it caught the centre-half full in the face. So it's another corner. Brown is up again as Houghton takes this corner for Fulham. It was Gale who got the header in. And Batch, and it's gone away. Well, Robert Wilson will claim it, and why not? It took an eternity to get to the back of the net. Once Gale had made his header, Wilson claimed it, and you can see the slow motion does in fact show that it just came off his head, along with the defender. 1-0 to Fulham. He'll be looking forward to getting into the First Division in the match against West Ham, who gave him a free transfer last summer. That's a good ball, finding Gordon Davis. Houghton's right up there with him. The run is on for Davis. It's still on for him. Oh, my goodness. What a goal that was. Smile of a man who knows a little bit of luck came his way. A lovely ball by Kevin Locke in the first place, and it bounced back to him there. And then it was all over for Grimsby. 2-0 to Fulham. 18th of the season for Gordon Davis. And now Waters for Grimsby. Holding off Lewington, but doing so with a few arms flying around, which produces a free kick for Fulham, who are nicely back in the old routine again. Edgy enough at the start, not too sure of themselves, but once Wilson's goal had gone in, it began to look a better side, and now everybody's looking for the ball. Well, half-time and a good first half for Fulham. All those goals by Robert Wilson and Gordon Davis, giving them a very healthy half-time lead here at Craven Cottage. Well, the half-time score is Fulham 2, Grimsby 0. Fulham start the second half with that comfortable 2-0 lead. Kevin Locke with them. But Saxby away for Grimsby. Davis, who scored a couple of times last November when they beat Grimsby 4-0 in Grimsby. And of course has made Grimsby well aware of his presence again today. Gale again. Nice bit of combination there, and it fell for them nicely as well as Houghton gets the ball in, but it was a little too low. Saxby got right down and halted the attack, but it's a throw again for Fulham. Ray Houghton with it. Tony Gale. Paid for Houghton for Gale again. Lewington shot, only half saved, and surely, yes, Wilson gets his second and Fulham's third. Scored 6 this season up till now, but 2 more today. Batch just getting behind it but couldn't hold it, and he had so much time then, Wilson, and made good use of it. 3-0, 4 minutes into the second half. And such is Fulham's form, and one suspects they might become a little dispirited. There's no telling where it might end now. That's a nice ball from Lewington, finding Gordon Davis. Oh, and it needed a good save. So a corner for Fulham. Brown up from the back. The ball is with Locke. Now with Houghton. Driscoll playing it for Locke again, curled in nicely. It was Bob Cumming who got that away and presented Locke with another chance. And then Houghton lost his footing, and Bonnyman getting it for Cumming. Well, that bounced quite pleasantly for him until Gale got him and got it a long way back to Cape. Well, that'll keep in play, but can Coney get there? Saxby's there as well. Foul given against the Grimsby number 5, a free kick to Fulham. Gale with the kick. Brown with the header. Batch with the save. Well, there's no shortage of excitement now for the crowd of 8,096 as Brown powers in the header and Batch saves well. Forward, shoving the back on Wilkinson by Lewington, a free kick to Grimsby. I get the feeling when Fulham had gone 3-0 up 4 minutes into the second half that Grimsby might well be overrun, but they've defended in numbers since then, and they've defended fairly well too. Now they're looking to pull one back as Bonnyman finds Waters, crossed in once again. Oh, and the keeper missed that, and Tony Ford was nearly in. Odell, and now Ford might be in. Oh, very close indeed. And Fulham might feel that they've got to just buck themselves up a bit more now. O'Driscoll. No foul. Oh, that was a weak clearance there. Kevin Moore, I think it was. And the ball now with Coney. Oh, crossbar, Lewington, 4-0. was a tremendous shot. Onto the left foot, banged it against that Grimsby crossbar, and what an inviting moment there for Ray Lewington. Fulham 4, Grimsby 0. And still about 13 minutes to go. It's not the place to be taking an afternoon saunter. He's threatened to be trampled to death once or twice as that pigeon. Gale laying it in. Come to Hopkins. O'Driscoll. Oh, well played. Now, can he finish it off? Can Coney finish it off? Can Wilson get in there? No, he can't. And a hat-trick was on for him there for a moment. He just couldn't find an extra 3 or 4 yards to get up there and tap the ball home. But full marks to Sean O'Driscoll. He went down and was up in 1. No looking for a whistle. And Batch really didn't get a touch on that. Hopkins getting himself into trouble. Bonnyman might punish him for it. And now can Waters finish it off? Or will it be the little dink inside? It is. And Wilkinson, and it came off Roger Brown, and they were a little casual. And one or two of the Fulham defence looking at Hopkins and wondering what on earth he was doing with that first mistake. So it's a corner which Ford will take. Didn't get there, but Kevin Moore's header was wide. Hopkins, Wilkinson thundering in at him, and a free kick for Fulham. Brown with a long ball forward. Driscoll. And Wilson. A nice little sidestep by Ray Houghton, but he couldn't sidestep that challenge by Phil Bonnyman, and it'll be a free kick. Tony Gale behind this one, and Coney and Brown are forward for the little chip towards this left-hand side of the Grimsby penalty area, and Gale looking up, sees that Brown is making his run, and you can see how annoyed again the Grimsby goalkeeper was. We all saw what was happening, but the Grimsby defence apparently didn't. It was a free header for Roger Brown. Nicely on target, but the keeper saving under the bar. O'Dell. Before for Lewington, just nicked it out of the way of O'Dell for Wilson. And a free kick because O'Dell was hanging all around the Fulham number 8. And so it'll be just about the last little strike of the game, I would have thought, because referee Reid has again looked at his watch. And Fulham are taking a bit of time organising this. Kevin Locke and Ray Houghton between them deciding who's going to take it. It'll be Locke touching it in here for Wilson, the man who's looking for his hat-trick. Well, you saw how close he came to getting it with what would have virtually been the last kick of the game. It looked to me as though Batch had turned that aside for a corner, but maybe not. Another look at the referee's watch as Batch takes what will probably be the last goal kick of the game. Indeed it is, and a good win for Fulham. They'd wobbled a bit in recent weeks, but Malcolm McDonald's side are back on course for the First Division now with 2 goals by Robert Wilson one by Gordon Davis and one by Ray Lewington. Well, his confidence in his side in naming an unchanged side, although they hadn't been performing in terms of results all that well over the last few weeks, worked out well. Final score then here at Craven Cottage: Fulham 4, Grimsby 0.
Indeed, that could have been a critical win for Fulham. While they were picking up 3 points, Leicester City were taking only 1 from a 2-2 draw at Newcastle, where the old Liverpool connection of Kevin Keegan and Terry McDermott were scoring the Newcastle goals that have given Fulham such a helping hand. Queen's Park Rangers stay 5 points clear with a 3-1 win at Bolton. 2 there for Simon Stainrod, 1 for Mike Flanagan. Wolves drew 0-0 at home to Oldham. What a remarkable double for Fulham. 4-0 at Grimsby in November, 4-0 again today. They really are a side worth watching, I assure you of that. And what a boost for London football if Queen's Park Rangers and Fulham both get into the First Division next season, which now seems pretty likely. Elsewhere in London today, football centrepiece, the Milk Cup final, and Jim was there for us.
Yes, Brian, and once again the glory goes to Liverpool and their manager Bob Paisley as they beat Manchester United 2-1 after extra time at Wembley to win the Milk Cup for the 3rd successive season. A really exciting match to watch. United taking the lead after only 11 minutes through the Northern Ireland teenager Norman Whiteside. And despite a series of injuries, United held out till 15 minutes from time when Alan Kennedy scored a spectacular equaliser. But United battled on bravely. They forced the game into extra time. But in the end, the diving Gary Bailey failed to keep out a fine effort from Ronnie Whelan, the man who proved the hammer of Spurs with 2 goals in the same match last year. But really, the day belonged to Bob Paisley. The match will be remembered for the moment when he led the Liverpool team up those Wembley steps and received the trophy on his last appearance at the famous stadium. And a tired but happy Liverpool squad on the coach that left Wembley. Goal scorers Alan Kennedy and Ronnie Whelan sitting together, delighted. So was Phil Neal, who rated today's success as one of Liverpool's greatest.
I thought probably that was one of our best Wembley performances ever I can remember. I know we played well in '77 against Man United and got beat, but we had so much possession of the ball today, Jim, when you look back on it, and I thought that was probably as best a performance we've put in at Wembley.
They did well. In the last few weeks, little bits have been going against us, and you know, when that happens, you know, you get a bit disheartened and that they got the goal so early. That could be, you know, put many a team down, and full credit. They came back well and won it deservedly.
Bob, I feel sure there's one moment that people are going to remember from this cup final in years to come, and that was when you went up and collected the cup. Tell us about that moment.
Well, it was quite a surprise. I didn't know nothing about it, and the officials wanted me to go up, and I still didn't think it because the players had earned the cup, and but they wanted me to go up, so I did it really for them.
Were you a bit reluctant? There seems to be a conflicting opinion. Somebody said you ran up the steps and others say you had to be pushed up there.
No, I went up the steps better than they did, actually, because there's a few tired legs there.
He didn't need much persuasion. He more or less sprinted up. I don't think he's ever been up them stairs. I know he missed the final when he was a player in the FA Cup final, played in the semi-final, scored a goal in the semi-final, but didn't make the final. I think he enjoyed it more than any of us. We've all done it before.
So another joyful day there for Liverpool, but really a sad one for United, and a costly one too, as manager Ron Atkinson explained later. Atkinson said the injuries to our central defenders Gordon McQueen and Kevin Moran were disasters. Till they were injured, we'd kept Liverpool wide and won the aerial battle. Moran has a badly injured ankle, McQueen a hamstring injury. We're disappointed, says Atkinson, but we want to be back in May at Wembley for the FA Cup final. Injury worry too for the England boss Bobby Robson as he prepares for the European Championship match with Greece. That's at Wembley on Wednesday. Definitely out, Paul Mariner. He's got a damaged Achilles tendon, picked up in Ipswich's 1-0 victory over Manchester City at Main Road. And Luton's Ricky Hill, he's doubtful too with a back injury. Well, Luton can ill afford that. They lost 3-1 at home to Sunderland today and now find themselves deep in relegation trouble. Better news, though, for Arsenal. They overcame a first-minute goal from Everton and won 3-2 up at Goodison. Tony Woodcock getting the winner, and that's the Gunners' first away win in some 4 months. Not so happy, though, with Chelsea tonight. They lost 3-0 at home to Barnsley, and after the match, manager John Neal slammed his team for lack of effort, blaming young England keeper Steve Francis for 2 of the goals, saying Steve needs a rest, but our reserve keeper Bob Isles is injured. And Chelsea now slipping dangerously towards the second division relegation zone, and so are fellow Londoners Crystal Palace and Charlton. Palace losing 2-1 to Leeds at Elland Road, Frankie Gray giving the home side victory with a last-minute penalty. And Charlton, who never seem to be out of bother these days, they crashed 3-0 to a Middlesbrough side, possibly boosted by the news just before the game that Malcolm Allison has signed a new 2-year contract. Well, that game at Ayrton produced the strangest incident of the day. Charlton awarded a penalty just after half-time. Derek Hale stepped up to take it, stopped in his run. Referee David Richardson promptly booked him for ungentlemanly conduct. And while that was going on, the Charlton boss, Lenny Lawrence, who didn't want Hales to take the kick in the first place, told Welsh international Carl Harris to take it. And after all that, Carl Harris promptly missed. Finally tonight, tangible proof that George Best still retains some of his old crowd-pulling appeal, pulling on a Bournemouth shirt for the first time against Newport at Dean Court this afternoon. Watched by a crowd of more than 9,000, that's double the usual home gate. But alas, no happy return for George Best, all his skills there, but Bournemouth lost 1-0.
Thank you, Jim. Coming next, Dave Swindlehurst makes his first appearance for West Ham. That's at Norwich. Also Nottingham Forest against Southampton. The Pools news, that's coming up as well. After back. Well, our second match on the programme tonight is Norwich City against West Ham. Norwich deep in relegation troubles. West Ham still with an eye on qualification for Europe next season. And to that end, this week they invested some £200,000 in Dave Swindlehurst from Derby County, the former Palace striker, now making his first appearance for the Hammers. Well, the pictures are from Anglia Television. Commentator Jerry Harrison. West Ham in the dark shirts.
Goddard gets into the area. This is Swindlehurst competing. Goddard now chasing 2. Stewart back in. Haylock wins, but it's Dickens coming forward. He can hit him. Oh, it's a great goal. Alan Dickens, who's scored a couple of screamers like this already this season, suddenly comes from nowhere after a fairly anonymous 20 minutes. He latches onto this one and volleys it superbly over the top of Woods for a great goal. The score, Norwich 0, West Ham 1. Alan Dickens, 18 years of age, his 3rd goal, and West Ham in front against the run of play. Haylock. Dean gets up well. It's Downs coming for it now. Mendham. Birchin, Mendham. Can he hit one? He can, but his balance was going as he went for it, and there was no room there. Dickens. Mendham is on to him, but nice ball from Pike to Lampard. Pike available again. In for Swindlehurst. Nicely played to Lampard with a good bit of room here. They back off for the deep cross. And there's Devonshire getting in, and there's a good save. Well, it was Swindlehurst who got the header in the end. 3 of them lined up for it. Good cross from Lampard. Swindlehurst very much on target there, and Woods saves well. Well, that was what they bought Swindlehurst for. Martin's on the near post. There's Woods. Oh, he misjudged that one. Swindlehurst again. It's a good cross. Woods again. And Stewart hits the goalkeeper, and that was a good save, and it was a very good drive by Stewart. O'Neill. Forward goes Watson. Devonshire got a boot to that. Downs is onto it. Good cross. There's Birchin getting up. Parks didn't get there. Barham is in. Whistle's gone. It won't count. The referee, I don't think, liked the challenge as the ball came across. There's a good one by Downs. So many of these crosses have been wasted. Now, there's a waving hand there from Birchin as it comes out to Barham. And in the net, the whistle has already gone. Watson. Downs. Birchin's down the left-hand flank, but this is O'Neill. Byram wide on the right here. Here's Mendham. Byram, now square of him is Haylock. Forward for Shannon, a penalty! Well, Martin was marking him tight. Too tight. The ball played quite accurately forward. Down goes Shannon. Martin turns in innocence, but the referee's already pointed to the spot. Well, that was something from nothing, and was that a touch of the old hand there? But it's still not in the back of the net for Norwich. It's Dean who's got the opportunity of cashing in on Shannon's fall there. But he's had problems from the spot this season. Oh, it's in! Relief for John Dean particularly, and for Norwich City and their supporters. That's a tense situation, but it's a good penalty. 1-1. 1-1 now. John Dean, 14th goal of the season, and it surely gives Norwich City heart and the legs to battle on for the rest of the game. Stewart, Devonshire on the left-hand side. This is for Goddard, it's a bad one. Ray Stewart's hit some pretty awful passes in this game, I'm afraid. Shannon's pursuing this, he's almost there. He goes down again. Referee turns away there. That looked like a foul, that one. He was very much onto a loose ball there, when two West Ham defenders surely had better chances of getting it away. He keeps going. Now he gets into a difficult area. I don't think it would have been a penalty, but it looked like a foul. Martin got that, and Shannon goes in again. And Dean. Right, chances are beginning to pop up again. And Shannon once more in the middle of it all, making it hard for Bonds, and it should have been a lot easier for John.
Let's have some more action now. Nottingham Forest, who've not won for 9 games against Southampton, going well with only 1 defeat in their last 7. Pictures from Central Television, commentator Peter Brackley. Nottingham Forest in the white shorts.
Header from right. It on fed by Baird to Moran. Anderson's intervention. And clambering all over David Armstrong. So a free kick to Southampton. We've had 3 away wins so far this season. They've certainly played very impressively in the last few weeks. Chris Nicholl and Mark Wright, the 2 big central defenders, both at the far post. Armstrong with the kick. Went over everyone, and a good save in the end by Van Breukelen. The ball knocked back across the area. Difficult ball for the goalkeeper, and he did well to smother the effort. Bowyer to Walsh. Davenport, quite a lot of space. Hounded all the way by Agboola, the Southampton sweeper. Bowyer now then to Robertson. Wallace and Davenport in the area. This is Davenport turning well. And the ball well gathered by Peter Shilton down low. He's such a difficult man to beat on any occasion, Peter Shilton. But he'll certainly be anxious to do well this afternoon back at his old club. Bowyer with Moran. Robertson couldn't evade the rather strong challenge then of Ian Baird, who's certainly an aggressive front runner. This is Davenport. Showing good control. Wallace fighting Wilson. And Wilson's pace could be telling here. A lot of acceleration from Wilson. Agboola was in the way. Now Walsh. Davenport. And he turned it wide. That really sums up the sort of luck that Nottingham Forest have been having in recent weeks. They've not scored in 3 games, only 4 in the last 13. And that was a definite chance there. This is Colin Walsh. setting himself up for the cross. Davenport didn't really control it first time, and then shot wide. Wallace feeding Robertson. Two defenders in his way, and one of them, Mills, makes the intervention. Wallace, and his pace then really gave him the chance to come and collect. He really is nippy. But not a good ball through. And Wilson finding Bowyer. Now for Robertson. Southampton might just be stretched. Still Robertson. In goes Hodge with Armstrong. And Armstrong's presence just did enough to put off Hodge, who was steaming in at the far post. A good run from midfield by Hodge. Anderson beaten by Baird. The ball going straight to Bowyer. Now Davenport. Oh, what a fine pass that was to, this is Walsh. Can he get a cross in from there? Well, he was fouled by Mills, who went in far too strongly. And the linesman indicating a foul. Robertson to take the kick. Movement here from Wallace. Magbula went with him. And Williams able to clear, but only as far as Walsh. This time the challenge from Moran penalised. So another chance for Forest to prize an opening. Robertson and Bowyer, the two players on the ball. Robertson curling it in. Up goes Anderson. The header from Hodge. 1-0. Peter Shilton beaten. And Steve Hodge has given Forest the lead. 32 minutes gone. And Hodge, with his 6th goal of the season, has made the breakthrough. The free kick curled in tantalisingly by Robertson. Anderson's header, and Hodge bravely in, and Shilton beaten at the near post. The first goal that Forest have scored then in 4 matches. What delight they'll take from that one. Steve Hodge, the scorer. And here's Walsh. Finding Robertson. Through then for Wallace. There's Hodge free. This is Hodge. The linesman already flagging, and the goal doesn't stand. Hodge adjudged to be offside. Here you see Wallace. He spotted Hodge making the run through, and he was offside. Mills. No warning. In went Wallace. Now Robertson. And Mills diving in then courageously as Walsh came through. This is Fairclough. Davenport. And shot. Had to be quick. But when you're a goalkeeper of his quality, that sort of problem is quickly erased. Shot sprinting out of his area. Danny Wallace tangling with Gunn. Mills to Williams. Now Moran. He went down, and the referee not interested. Moran certainly fell to the ground as if he'd been tripped. The referee felt the defender went for the ball. Southampton seeking to thread a way through. No opening materialising. Here's Holmes. Support from Baird. Armstrong. Now Mills. The chip in for Armstrong, who's onside. Away by Bowyer. who again is in the right place at the right time. Williams with the corner. There's Nichols' header. Baird across. Armstrong! Well, they've been threatening an equaliser, and they found one. And David Armstrong has made it 1-1. The corner floated over there by Steve Williams. Up goes Nicholl, unchallenged really. The header back, I think that was from Baird, and Armstrong hooking it under the diving goalkeeper's body. 67 minutes gone, and Southampton are right back in the match. David Armstrong with his 7th goal of the season. Dreadful ball by Gunn. A chance here surely for Wallace. Can he finish? He took it too far, lost control. And that a clear opening then for Danny Wallace. A Gunn. Caught by Wallace. Dreadful error again by Gunn. Not for the first time this afternoon. And the goalkeeper's legs saving the day for Forest. Bryn Gunn then with what was almost a very costly error. Quick counter-attack here from Forest. Davenport's beaten right, tried to hold him back, didn't succeed. Still Davenport. And that time, it's an excellent tackle by Wright. There's always a danger in that sort of situation that you'll bring a player down. Mills. The game being finished at a furious pace. Some 10 minutes to go. Still both teams searching for a winner. Came off Bryn Gunn. Southampton corner. Up they both go. Falls in for Wallace. Brilliant goal. Well, he's missed 2 other occasions when he should have scored really this afternoon, thwarted by the goalkeeper and by his own lack of control, but on this occasion he smacked it straight past Van Breukelen. And with 9 minutes to go, Southampton are in front. 2 goals to 1, and Danny Wallace with his 12th goal of the season, hitting it from outside the area on the volley. What a goal. Davenport. Wallace. And the other Wallace to Mills. Williams taking over. Deflected by John Robertson, not that he could do much about it. We're now into time added on then for stoppages. Gunn to Robertson. Southampton fighting every cause now. They can sense another morale-boosting victory. What a transformation it's been in their season. Wigley. Still Forest coming forward, hoping for something. Buller away. And goes Gunn. Time for Nicholl to clear. So the problems continue for Brian Clough. Forest's 4th home defeat of the season. They've got now 10 matches without a win, and Southampton's march towards a European place grows stronger. All this after Hodge had given the lead to Forest in the first half, but then Southampton coming back. David Armstrong with their equaliser, and then the winner. What a cracker it was too from Danny Wallace. The final score, Nottingham Forest 1, Southampton 2.
Well, with that victory, Southampton are now 5th in the table. A setback for Watford today, beaten 4-0 at Stoke. Aston Villa had that draw at Brighton. Liverpool, of course, well, they had other fish to fry today, and how well they did it. 13 points clear still. But now, what about the pools news?
14 score draws, the numbers 5, 13, 20, 22, 27, 31, 38, 39, 42, 43, 44, 45, 49, and 52. The no scores: 2, 15, 16, 25 and 33. Don't bother to claim, though, because the dividends, they're poor.
That's it. Thanks for being with us again. Don't forget to put your clocks forward 1 hour tonight. If you're playing tomorrow morning, I wouldn't want you to miss the kick-off. Today has been Liverpool's day, but more than that, it's been Bob Paisley's day. His last season as Liverpool manager, his last visit with his team to Wembley, and a wonderful victory in the Milk Cup final to celebrate. Congratulations to Bob, and good night to you all.